The first question asks how many milliliters each of U40 Humulin N and U100 Humalog are going to be required to give 10 units of the U40 and 18 units of the U100. So U100 is on our list of insulin concentrations to know. We just have to keep straight that that's 100 units per milliliter. And if we want to figure out how many milliliters are needed to provide 18 units, then we'd set up a proportion like that. And in this case, X is 0.18 milliliters. So that's half of it. The U40, by extension of the other concentrations that we know, must mean that it's 40 units per milliliter. And so if we want 10 units of this, we set up a proportion like that. And X will equal 0.25 milliliters. Okay, next question. How many units of insulin injection should be administered as a correction for a patient with a measured blood glucose of 220 milligrams percent if 0.5 units of insulin is required for every 25 milligrams percent of blood glucose over 175 milligrams? Okay, so this patient is requiring 0.5 units of insulin for every 25 milligrams percent over the target, and the target is 175 milligrams percent, and their reading is 220 milligrams percent. And so this person is 45 milligrams percent over the target. So how many units of insulin do they need if they are 45 milligrams percent over the target? So that's the proportion, and X is going to be equal to 0.9 units. All right, the final one. Total daily amount in milliliters of 5,000 units per mil heparin injection that's required for an order of 80 units per kilogram. This means every 6 hours for a 43-pound child. Okay, well, let's start with the weight-based part of the dosing. Again, we have this pounds versus kilograms thing going on. So how many kilograms for 43 pounds if there's 2.2 pounds per kilogram? Okay, so this tells us how many kilograms the child is, and that's 19.54 forever kilograms. Okay, so now we have the weight, so we can go to how many units are required. There are 80 units per kilogram of weight, and child weighs 19.54 forever kilograms. So how many units? And X here, after crisscrossing, is 1,563.63 forever units. Now, this is where we can take care of the every 6 hours thing, because we're asked what the total daily amount is. And this is the amount for every 6 hours. So we can set up that proportion too. 3.63 units per 6 hours. So, how many units for 24 hours? And that should be 6,254.54 forever units. Okay, we're to the final proportion where we need to find out how many milliliters this represents. We've got the units needed daily, and so given a 5,000 units per mil injection, how many mils is that? 5,000 units per 1 milliliter. How many milliliters is 6,254.54 forever units? And this is the number of mils that would be required daily. So bringing these up, dividing by 5,000. Answer is 1.25 milliliters of the heparin injection.